Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be going through a way that you can use to blend your colour pencils really easily and get really vibrant colours. So this is the end result of the demonstration that I'm showing you today. And so the material that we're using to blend our colour pencils is a alcohol based marker, and it's just the normal blender that you get in your marker set. So this is a pro marker, so it's just the clear, transparent, just the blending marker. And because it's alcohol based, you can see that you can use it to blend the coloured pencil. And so on this cherry study, what I did was I added a base layer of all of my colours, so the generic colours for where the highlights are, and just got sort of a base tone down everywhere. And I didn't apply hardly any pressure to the actual pencil, I just lightly added those layers. And then to fuse all of those colours together, what I'm doing is I'm taking that blender and I'm using really small circular motions and using the really small fine tip of the marker, but there's also the broad nib as well if you want to kind of use it on larger areas. And what this does is it really fuses those colours together and gives you a really nice vibrant look to your colour pencil work. And it's really easy to do, and it saves you having to kind of burnish all of the colours together and press really hard into the paper. And also what it means is that it allows you to add loads more layers on top. Because of the fact that you're just mixing and blending all of the pigment together and fusing these colours together, you haven't had to apply pressure in order to blend them. This means that once you've let this first layer dry, so you've let all of the marker dry, you can go in and add another layer and blend in between until you get the detail and the depth in colour that you want. So you can see how I've blended out the first cherry. It didn't take very long at all. This is pretty much in real time. It took maybe a minute or two to blend out that first cherry. And so it really is an efficient way to blend your colour pencil, and it's really nice. These markers only cost like a few pounds each, so you could just buy one and use that to blend out the whole thing. And what I would recommend is between sort of blending, make sure you wipe off the tip of the marker to try and keep it clean and don't clog it up. So every now and then I'd wipe and clean the tip on a scrap piece of paper. And also try to work from the lightest areas to the darkest, so that you're not smudging your dark colour pencil into your highlighted areas. So I always blend it out from my highlighted areas to the darkest areas. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I've let the first layer dry completely, and then I'm going over with more colour pencil to build up more of the richness and vibrancy to the colours and to build up more shadows. So it's really just about getting the depth in, and so the more and more you do the layers, the darker you can get those shadow tones, which is really going to give it that shiny, glossy, three-dimensional look. And I just keep going in with the marker after I've done each layer of colour pencil. You don't have to apply any pressure to the pencil. You're not trying to fill it in the white grain because that's what the marker's for. All you're trying to do is get in a messy sort of layer for the base tone, and then you can just keep blending with the marker. So the effect that you get with the marker pen is very similar to using solvents, so anything like paint thinner or Gamsol or any sort of solvents, because it's an alcohol-based marker. So it's really good because you can get that precision, because it's also like a marker. You can have the small nibs, and so you have more control than using, say, a paintbrush with your solvent. You might find it easier because you don't have to worry about so much of the fumes with the sort of big bottles of paint thinner. It's probably more efficient and easy with just a marker pen. And so as you can see, I'm building up more and more shadows. Let me know if you do want to see a fuller demonstration of this cherry study, because I'm just picking the important bits to show you. So do you want a longer sort of tutorial for how I drew these cherries, got all the shadows in and the highlights and got that glossy look to the cherries, and also did the leaf? Let me know. And so like I said, it is so important to keep your pen clean, otherwise it won't blend as efficiently if it just keeps building up with colour pencil. So definitely get that scrap piece of paper and just rub the nib of the pen against that until it runs clear, until all of the colour pencil has gone off onto the scrap piece of paper. And you can see that I do go over those highlighted areas because I don't want them to be too strong. I'm going to go back in with a white pencil to lift them up, and you can see me do that now. So I like to use the white pencil on the final sort of layers to get in the really strong highlights, but also to shade in some areas that need to be lighter. So on the cherry there was some areas where it had a bit of shine to it, and you can see that I'm just very lightly and messily adding that white pencil. But then you can go over with the marker and you can see that it really smooths out all of those pencil strokes and blends it all together, so you've got a really subtle highlights going across the side of that cherry. You can also use it to blend out those stronger highlights just to softly transition into those other areas. But it's really, really nice. You can just keep building up multiple layers until you've got the result that you want. So this is the finished result. I'm just adding a few little highlights with the white gel pen. But I hope you guys found that tip useful. If you want to see lots of real-time tutorials, make sure you check out my Patreon, where you can learn to draw realistically in colored pencil, watercolors, graphite, all of that sort of stuff. But that is it for this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed learning that new tip for blending colored pencil. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everybody.